Basketball at the Summer Olympics has been a sport for men consistently since 1936. Prior to its inclusion as a medal sport, basketball was held as a demonstration event in 1904. Women's basketball made its debut in the Summer Olympics in 1976. FIBA organizes both the men's and women's FIBA World Olympic qualifying tournaments and the Summer Olympics basketball tournaments, which are sanctioned by the IOC. The United States is by far the most successful country in Olympic basketball, with United States men's teams having won 15 of 18 tournaments in which they participated, including 7 consecutive titles from 1936 through 1968. United States women's teams have won 8 titles out of the 10 tournaments in which they competed, including 6 in a row from 1996 to 2016. Besides the United States, Argentina is the only nation still in existence who has won either the men's or women's tournament. The Soviet Union, Yugoslavia and the Unified Team are the countries no longer in existence who have won the tournament. The United States are the defending champions in both men's and women's tournaments. On June 9, 2017, the Executive Board of the International Olympic Committee announced that 3x3 basketball would become an official Olympic sport as of the 2020 Summer Olympics in Tokyo, Japan. For both men and women, basketball was invented by James Naismith in Springfield, Massachusetts, in 1891. Within a few decades, the new game became popular throughout the United States as an indoor sport. The popularity spread overseas and the International Basketball Federation was organized in 1932 in Geneva, Switzerland, thanks in part to the effort of Fogue Allen, a Kansas Jayhawks collegiate coach. The first Olympic basketball tournament was organized in the 1936 Berlin Olympics on outdoor tennis courts. Dr. Naismith presented the medals to the top 3 teams. According to the Olympic rules of that time, all of the competitors were amateurs. The tournament was held indoors for the first time in 1948. The American team proved its dominance, winning the first 7 Olympic tournaments through 1968, without losing a single game. While the Americans were barred from sending a team that contained players from the Professional National Basketball Association, they instead sent in college players. Teams from some other countries sent in their best players, as some of their players were classified as amateur by FIBA. By earning allowances instead of wages, the U.S. winning streak ended in 1972 in one of the most controversial matches in history, when the Soviet Union beat them in the gold medal game by 1 point. The U.S. team reclaimed the gold medal in 1976, with Yugoslavia, which had beaten the Soviet Union in the semi-final, finishing runner-up for the second time. In 1980, with the Americans' absence due to the boycott, Yugoslavia became the third team to win the title, after beating the Soviets anew in the semi-finals and Italy in the final. The Americans regained the title in 1984, by beating Spain in the final, with the Soviets boycotting this time. The Soviets won the gold medal for the second time in 1988, after beating the US team for the second time in the semi-final, and the Yugoslavs in the gold medal game. In April 1989, through the leadership of Secretary-General Borislav Stankovic, FIBA approved the rule that allowed NBA players to compete in international tournaments, including the Olympics. In the 1992 Summer Olympics, the US Dream Team won the gold medal with an average winning margin of 44 points per game, and without calling a timeout. By this time, the Soviet Union and Yugoslavia no longer existed, but their successor states continued to be among the leading forces. 2 newly independent countries of the former Yugoslavia and Soviet Union, Croatia and Lithuania, won the silver and bronze medals respectively. The American team repeated its victory in 1996 and 2000, but its performance was not as dominant as in 1992. Since active NBA players have been allowed to compete in the Summer Olympics, the 1996 Games in Atlanta is the only instance where the Olympic host city also had a home NBA team. The Hawks, Yugoslavia was the runner-up in Atlanta, and France in Sydney, with Lithuania winning bronze again on both occasions. The renewed dominance of the US was interrupted in 2004, when the Americans barely made it to the semi-final. After losing to Puerto Rico and Lithuania in the preliminaries, Argentina defeated them in the semi-finals, on their way to a gold medal finish, where they beat Italy in the final, and became the fourth team to win the Olympic title. The Americans regrouped in 2008, beating the reigning FIBA World Champions, Spain, in an intense gold medal game, with the Argentines beating the Lithuanians in the bronze medal game. The Americans and the Spaniards met again in the 2012 gold medal game, with the US again winning, although with the closest winning margin for the American team. The US